Hey, Crypto Growth Fam, how's it going? This is your host Shazib signing in. We're back with another video, guys. In this video, we will be discussing FLR Network, the savior of finance. It's going to be an interesting one, guys, so make sure to watch till the end. And folks, for those of you who are new to the channel, we primarily discuss utility coins and potential gems. If you're interested in any of that stuff, then subscribe to the channel and hit the notification icon for regular videos. And you can also support the channel by becoming a Patreon, so do check that out as well, only if you're interested. And folks, you can also check out the official Crypto Growth partners for the exchange. We've got MEXC. You can follow the link in the description box below for rebates, discounts, offers, benefits, and lowest fees. So do check it out. And as far as the wallet is concerned, you can check out Decent. They've got their remarkable products, their biometric wallet, which has got an astonishing $30 off. And you can also check out their biometric wallet 2x package, guys, which has got a phenomenal $99 off only if you follow the link in the description box below. Decent supports 3000 plus of your favorite coins and tokens, and it supports 50 plus blockchain mainnets. Anyways, let's see what's happening with the FLR in real time. Any new information and posts for us. Whenever it comes to FLR videos, we look no further than Hugo for good updates, folks, because he never ever disappoints. He always keeps the community engaged, he keeps the community involved and updates the community. Look at this FLR community 21 hours ago. Hugo has reposted. FLR Improvement Proposal 12 is live. It brings the FLR data connector to the FLR network, which is a requirement before the launch of FAssets. So before FAssets is launched, there are multiple things that need to be sorted out. Obviously, an entire ecosystem is being built, and an entire new use case for non-smart contract projects is being built. I mean, it takes it takes huge developments to achieve and attain something like this. Let's hope that FAssets indeed becomes a success eventually. The Builders Club over here. Builders, we're coming to Oxford. Hackers grab a byte and a byte before Ethereum Oxford. Interesting over here. It rhymes as well. Grab a byte and a byte before ETH Oxford at Builders Club Mixer. Fuel up with food, drinks, and top-tier networking, powered by none other than FLR Networks. Scheduled for February 7th, 2 to 5 p.m. Depending on the time frame, you guys can check it out. Cozy Club Oxford. Okay. ETH Oxford Mixer, powered by FLR. Coffee, networking, lunch. Seems interesting, folks. Okay, see you in Oxford next week. Timing might be according to the place that it is being held, obviously Oxford, apparently. I find it disturbing how many people are disturbed by this post. This is Crypto 101, folks. It goes for any hot wallet, including Bifrost. This goes for any hot wallet on any blockchain. Phantom on Solana, XUMM on XRPL, etc. What is it about? You really don't want to use a software wallet with any meaningful amounts of value. I strongly recommend learning how to use a hardware wallet to stake and delegate on FLR, even if you currently consistently use a software wallet. I agree with Hugo over here, because this industry is filled with scammers, it is filled with mistakes, it is filled with hackers, so we should be keeping ourselves safe ourselves, folks. So that is true. Okay, what else do we have? Stake FLR on FLR networks to support and earn. Use Ledger Wallet for strong security. Get FLR drops. Vote on governance while staking. Earn bi-weekly rewards. Use LST Solutions. Scepter LS SFLR for DeFi. So here's how you can watch this video. They always have tutorials. FLR is really great when it comes to tutorials, and whenever they've got this complex ecosystem, staking ecosystem, passive income ecosystem, rewards mechanism. So you have to constantly learn how to do it. So if you're interested in how to stake to Flare validators, then check this 1 minute, almost 2 minutes video out, folks. You can easily stake and delegate on Flare through token management Flare. You can check this out, portal.flare.network. Okay, the latest Flare factor was our most watched episode ever. Santiago was on the show to tell us about XDeFi protocol, the future contracts platform on Flare, and over 2,500 of you tuned in, and you can find the episode on YouTube if you're interested, folks. Santiago interview with XDeFi and Santiago. Talking about interviews, I wanted to share one thing with you, an interview, although it is a bit long. Look at this one. Yeah, this is how you bring real institutional money on chain. This is Jack Nywald. The video is over here. Decipher podcast over here. The L1 of the future featuring Flare network, basically. So this is long, 46 minutes. You guys can check this out yourselves. We're going to be looking at a point segment over here from 9 minutes or approximately 8.5 minutes. Let's check 10 minutes of this out to see what these gentlemen have to say. So yeah, Vertex, shout out. Let's hear them out.
As a market is so out of whack to do anything when basically, even these days, if you talk to macro traders, basically, it's really, really hard to do anything when fundamentals of the market are so out of whack because of government intervention.
Right.
I've always had this sneaking suspicion, incorrectly at every single time so far, that the world would collapse. That the economic world would collapse. And was always looking for some kind of asymmetric hedge for that. Right. So crypto presents that really nicely. And then the fact that you can do business in crypto and suddenly
I find it really interesting that Hugo sees Flare and crypto in general as the savior of this economic system, the savior of finance, and this is where the title comes from. Obviously, this is my own take on it. This is my own way of perceiving it. Anyways,
exit. You come out of Bitcoin world and you're into Ethereum world, or you're into smart contract world, and suddenly people can actually transact across chains. That was the draw.
Mm-hmm. And then Flare kind of started off associated with XRP, which is interesting right now, seeing this kind of XRP renaissance in the markets around the dates that we're recording this. What brought you to become interested in XRP as a platform?
So we essentially started out as a platform looking at, okay, where is there something valuable for us to do? And we looked at Bitcoin, and we looked at all the various non-smart contract assets, and we thought, well, if we could prove state from those networks, and we could have prices on the network, and we could create a really decentralized bridging mechanism for these non-smart contract assets like XRP and Bitcoin, now Doge, onto Flare, and we could create a DeFi environment around that. So that was kind of the starting point. We realized in building those protocols that the protocols themselves presented Flare as its own very, very distinct layer one, pretty much the only major layer one with enshrined data protocols, both prices, Web3 state, so state from other blockchains like Bitcoin, right, XRP, Ethereum, and Web2, essentially being able to come to consensus over Web2 APIs. And the structure we went for by enshrining the oracles means that all the validators are not just providing network validation, but they're also providing data. And that data, therefore, is then secured by the stake that is applied to those those validators. And that is what secures the Oracle system, in contrast to other Oracle systems which have much far shakier security mechanisms. So we started out with, okay, we want to build a DeFi platform for these various assets, we still think that there needs each one of Bitcoin, Doge, and XRP has a number of projects around them to give them smart contracts. We think that the aggregation of those assets onto a single platform so that they can essentially play with each other in DeFi is far more valuable than a single project focusing on one particular, whether it's Bitcoin or XRP or Doge or whatever. And I think that's essentially been our core thesis for a long time. And we have just, we'll probably come on to it in a bit, but we've just launched our first version of those bridges. And I've just
Flare ecosystem boasts itself as being truly decentralized, and it is playing around with DeFi. It is trying to provide use cases to these potential multi-trillion projects, to be honest. Let's see how it goes, how F assets are received after launch, and how this ecosystem grows in the future. Let's see, because this is huge. They are a layer one, and then they've got their own enshrined oracles. Then they're working on DeFi, and then they're also working on various use cases like F assets. So this is a huge ecosystem in the making if they achieve what they want to achieve, because obviously any project can fail or succeed.
Just funded request for a proposal to build essentially an eigenlayer for XRP, so that people can natively stake their XRP to services, off-chain services or on-chain services, to secure those, so that they can then get an LST out on Flare and use that LST in Flare's DeFi environment.
Interesting. A little side question. Why do you think XRP as an asset is kind of so divisive in crypto? You obviously have a subset in crypto Twitter of people who kind of like completely dismiss it. On the other side, you have the XRP cultists who are taking out mortgages to buy. Why do you think there's this artificial
intelligence? I think that we have within the team very specific ideas as to where we want to go in AI with crypto. I think, we released a paper last year. It's a very basic paper on something we call consensus learning. I think being able to use a blockchain to come to consensus across lots of models makes AI substantially better. That is of great interest to me. I think that using trusted execution environments, which Flare is building out a capability in order to be able to prove that a particular model has been used for credit scoring, for instance, is extremely valuable. Or that, an LLM that has particular implementation has been used. So, for instance, very interested in what people can do with LLMs to make people's lives much, much easier in crypto. What Flare really wants to provide is very simple. It wants to provide the greatest amount of utility, the greatest amount of features, all in one stack, right? Because the development, one of the things that strikes me, you have two kind of factors that I think have come to play, and I could be wrong. The first is that there keeps being a large amount of grifts in the space. And I think there's two reasons as to why, that has happened. One is they're, easy to build, and this means that, this means you don't need the best engineers in the world to build them. And I often think that a lot of the best engineers in the world have been kept out of the space by legislation, as in by the lack of clear legislation in the US around starting a crypto project. That is now going away. If you're a really fantastic engineer at Google, it's a big risk to go and start a project in crypto. That risk is now reducing with Trump coming into power, and that's very desirable for the space as a whole. And then I think there just isn't that much functionality available in blockchain today. Flare provides a first set of functionality that gives you really nice data. We want to go a lot further with off-chain compute. We want to provide a vast amount of functionality straight out of the box to developers, especially if our thesis is correct that because of the change in legislation, you're going to get a lot of really high quality developers coming to the space. We want to provide all in one stack, an absolutely unbeatable feature set, so that you can build applications that are really nice but really complex under the hood easily.
I guess too, part of Flare's value.
So, folks, what do you guys think about Flare Network and in particular, and crypto in general as being the savior of finance? I would really like your opinions. Do hit the comment box below and let the community know. Anyways, guys, this was it for the video. If you liked it, make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification icon if you're interested in utility coins and potential gems. And you can also support the channel by becoming a Patreon, so do check that out. Like I always say in the end, until next time, stay blessed and stay tuned. Thank you very much, everyone.